It's a bunch of crazy stories written by the Brothers Grimm. And now you're gonna learn all about them, listening to the Brothers Grimm.
You sure about this?
Yeah, no, I think it'll be fun. We'll see. I mean, we'll see if we get anything.
All right.
And we'll see if Jamie manages to stay down.
Oh, yeah. Well, therein lies the rub.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Students and scholars, friends and relations. My name is Phil.
And my name is Mike.
And we are the Brothers Dim. And we are here to talk about the crazy stories that the Brothers Grimm wrote down in the early 1800s from all sorts of people. They heard these stories from people around their town and the surrounding towns and et cetera, et cetera. Mike, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well.
Okay.
Yep. Getting ready to go to Kansas City at the end of the week.
Okay.
So,
for work or just to go?
No,
to
it's a long story. But it's Destination Imagination Global Finals because my kids are amazing.
Okay. Is it Kansas City, Missouri or Kansas City, Kansas?
Kansas City, Missouri. But I'm
Okay.
gonna see if I can step over the border into Kansas just to say that I've been there.
There you go. I hear one side. You know, we're not even going to say which one it is. You know which one you are. I hear one side's kind of a shithole.
That's what I have heard as well. I will let you know.
I'm doing okay, although I am sick, as we have discussed. Jamie came home coughing, and then he got sent home from daycare today, which means he can't go to daycare tomorrow because he got sent home with a fever, which sucks, which means that I also can't just sleep all day tomorrow. But that's okay. I went to the urgent care today to get tested for strep, COVID, and the flu, and I have none of those things. I guess have a bad case of kennel cough the kid gave me, or whatever he got from daycare. But I will say this, I am excited. There we go. I'm looking down at my Arcade 1-Up Legacy Edition arcade cabinet, which I haven't set up yet, but is going to get set up in my office soon.
Sweet.
14 games, including Mortal Kombat 1 through 3 plus Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, Tubin, Rampage, Joust, The Wizard of War, Gauntlet, Root Beer Tapper, which is one of my favorite games, Defender, which is fantastic, Paperboy and Clax, then also something called Bubbles. So it's like a pretty good little thing. It was one of the two. It was funny. I looked at it and I wanted to buy it, and it was $500, and it's the first time I really was like, I should go ask Amanda. She's gonna say yes because it's my money.
Yeah,
but I was like, I think 500 might be the line.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably reasonable.
Of like asking as opposed to just letting, I mean, I'll tell her if I tell her everything literally, but if I spend 25 cents on a cupcake or something else, like, all right, that's a good deal. That you should tell her.
Yeah, where the hell did you get a cupcake for 25 cents?
I don't think they make them for that cheap anymore. Okay. Anyway, today we're discussing story number 9, The 12 Brothers. Mike, you have one brother.
I have 2, actually.
Oh, you have 2 brothers?
I do.
I only thought you had one. I guess maybe I have to have met you're both brothers because I've been to your wedding. Unless
my other brother's older, half brother technically.
Well, he was at the wedding though, right?
Yes,
okay.
He was.
Well, anyways, you don't have 12. This isn't some sort of quiverful situation, and I don't have any brothers. I have a bunch of sisters.
How many sisters do you have?
Okay, I have Michelle is my 100% sister. Then I've got Deirdre, who is my stepfather's stepdaughter. It's half-assed family. I'm not sure exactly what you'd call it, but
one up, one over, carry.
Yeah, one up,
yeah.
Double step sister. And then I've got 2 stepsister. My father remarried, so there's Katie and Chrissy, and those are my 2 other stepsisters. I think everyone should just be cousins after a certain point.
I think it used to be like that. Like everybody was just a cousin.
Yeah. It makes it a lot more sense. But okay. Anyways, story number 9, The 12 Brothers. I'm gonna say the first thing that made me laugh. I mean, first of all, this story is in a book full of bonkers stories. This one is it's so ADHD, it's all over the place. It's just But it moves, man. It jumps from like idea to idea to idea with nothing in between. The first line that made me laugh was after the king decides he needs to kill his all 12 boys. He, quote, caused likewise 12 coffins to be made, which were already filled with shavings, and in each lay the little pillow for the dead. I don't know why the shavings made me laugh. I was like, whoa, shit. He's, first of all, I mean, he's ready. He's like, dude, what?
He's thought
You know
of
what?
everything.
Let's just get the pillows too. And the shavings. Yeah, let's just, he's having a grand old time. Old dad is.
This is some serious stepmother shit.
Well, the stepmother comes in the thing, but this is one of the first times too where the dad really
Right.
just was the one.
Yeah,
But
this is dad being an evil stepmother.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Rather than just an evil dad. Or just
Well,
like
I mean,
a sociopath dad. I mean, we have sociopaths all over the place here. But
That's
anyways,
true.
okay, here we go. The plot. Once upon a time, there's a king and queen, and they have 12 sons. Queenie gets pregnant for the 13th time, presumably for the final time. And the king says, you know what? If you have a girl, I think we should probably kill all the other kids. That way the girl won't have to share. So parenting is starting off strong in this one. King has all his coffins made, like we said, each with a little pillow and all the shavings. He got excited. Finally, the youngest son, who has a name, it's Benjamin, sees mom has been a little blue lately, a little melancholy. So he says, Mom, what's going on, Mom? And Mom, Queen finally admits to the kid the king's plan. There's a 50-50 shot that him and all his brothers are going to die. And if this new baby's a girl. This, by the way, brings us to our third paragraph. All of this has happened.
It moves fast. It does move fast.
Kid's like, though, oh, okay, no worries. So no need to kill us though. We'll just book. We'll get out of here. Mom's like, okay, well, cool. You do that, but then also go into the woods, keep an eye on the castle. If I give birth to a boy, I'll put a white flag in the highest tower of the castle, and you can all come home. If it's a red flag, you'll know that a girl was born, and you'd get murdered if you came back, so don't come back. Sons go out to the forest. Lo and behold, a red flag appears. They lament a bit and decide, you know what? In revenge, we're going to kill every single girl that we ever find from here on out. But that's fine. They go into the woods. They find a cabin, an enchanted cabin, but it's a nice cabin. So they move in. They say, okay, little brother Benjamin, you're the youngest, so you're going to be our maid while we go out and hunt. We're all going to live in this castle. This enchanted hut. Cut to 10 years later, the youngest daughter, who's very pretty and has a golden star on her forehead, finds 12 men's shirts and asks the queen what these shirts are. Queen breaks down, tells her the whole story. Says, your dad wanted to kill them all just so you could have everything. So we sent him into the forest. And the girl decides, okay, well, I'm going to go find him. And that, by the way, is the last time we hear about mom or dad. Dad hasn't been mentioned in a while. He made his little coffins, and then that's the last we hear of him. But okay, so the girl walks into the forest, walks around for a whole day before finding Benjamin. The text says it's a young boy, but it's been like 10 years. So you figure, you're muted, by the way, I think. There you go.
Yeah, I know. Yep.
Okay.
Sorry.
But that's okay.
Just being quiet.
That's fine. Okay, so it's been 10 years though. So figure he's got to be like 15, 17.
The ages in this one are weird. Yeah.
Yeah. And the older brothers, fuck, if they're they're pushing 30 at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's in an enchanted house and they don't age though, but regardless, she's 10.
Maybe the first 8 are octuplets. Very common back in 17th century Germany.
It's very common for that many babies to live ever, let alone before they had chicken soup and soap. This is back in the bloodletting leeches phase.
The good old days.
Oh yeah, if I had a leech and some bloodletting, I might not be sick right now. But anyways, so maybe they were in the bewitched hut. That didn't let him age. But Benjamin instantly recognizes the girl as his sister, and they have a nice embrace and are delighted that they found each other, and they hug and they kiss, and isn't that a grand old time? But the other brothers are going to come home. If they find a no good girl, they're going to kill her. So Ben says, no problem, just hide, it'll be fine. Brothers come home. Ben says, hey, I know something important, but I can't tell you. They're like, oh, come on, tell us. And he's like, well, okay, I'll tell you what news I know, but if I do that, then you have to agree to not kill the next girl you see. They're like, okay, that's fine. So he's like, okay, great. Our sister's alive. She's out back. And all the brothers and the sister are delighted. They all hug, they all embrace and kiss, and now they all live in the cabin. The youngest brother, who even 10 years later still is not allowed to hunt, him and the girl keep the house. She does not have a name, by the way. They keep house. It's all good. One day she makes a nice meal for everyone, and in the garden she notices some lilies, goes out and picks them to make a nice decoration for dinner, but because it was an enchanted house, the moment she picked them, each of her brothers turned into a raven, and a witch shows up. Or if not a witch, an old woman, I think it says. But she says, you stupid girl, didn't you know that the lilies were your brothers? Well, now they're ravens. So the girl's like, oh, dear, is there any way to save them? And the witch says no, but then immediately tells her how she can save them. In order to do that, she has to not speak or laugh for 7 years. If she can do that, they'll be back to normal. But if she can't, they all die. So the girl shuts her mouth, climbs a tree, starts spinning. Lo and behold, a random king shows up riding through the woods. Sees the hottest 10-year-old he's ever seen. Although some time may have passed. But anyway, the king's like, yeah, she'll do. I would 69 the hell out of that girl.
I mean, maybe she's 16.
She might. I mean, at some point more time passes, which I'll get to in a second. But she can't talk. He sort of indicates like, I'll get on my horse. Would you like to be married? And the girl kind of nods. So they get married.
I love that partial nod.
Yeah.
for marriage.
Yeah, I guess. That's fine.
It happens a lot.
It does. So like, yeah, a king will be riding around, see a hot piece of ass. Who cares about the age? That's just a number. And then but like, says, oh, let's get married. And the girl's like, yeah, okay. Just kind of nods. They get married, but the king's mom keeps going to the king. Is like, look, this girl's dumb. She can't speak. She won't laugh. She's clearly evil. She starts trash talking the girl until finally the king relents. Mom's like, you know what? We got to burn her at the stake. The king's like, yeah, okay, fine.
It's really the only clear solution.
Yeah. With it seems to happen a lot. Seems to like it's like, you know what? Just kill her.
She's a witch.
Luckily for her, right as the flames start licking at her toes, the 7 years passes and she can speak again. So she does. The brothers all swoop down, turn back into humans, save the sister, and they all live happily ever after because the girl explained to the king why she couldn't talk. King says, oh, that makes a lot of sense. And then they just straight up murder the king's mom for suggesting that they burn her. They murder her by putting her in a barrel filled with snakes and boiling oil, and she dies an evil death.
Poor snakes.
I know, right? And what are the snakes are gonna do at that point? Like it's like they're at the Iowa State Fair. Well, you got to try this new deep fried snake. She dies an evil death. Everyone else, though, is very happy. The end.
The end. So, Phil.
Yes.
What's your moral here?
Okay.
I'm dying to know.
I think, the real one, I think, is sibling solidarity. And that's it. It's just like, rely on your brothers and sisters, but not familial solidarity.
Right. Because the king's mom is terrible.
The king's mom's she wants to murder everyone. Their dad,
right? Yeah,
and their mom went along with it. She's not a good mom either. That she just was like, she abandoned her 11 kids in the woods, or 12 kids, the 12 brothers into the woods. Like no parents are good in this. That's the only thing is that I can think of is that maybe siblings, like trust your sibling.
Yeah.
But the last generation, the fucking boomers are going to do everything in their power to destroy the earth before you guys can fix it. And Gen X has done nothing, even though we're, I guess, technically Xennials. Whatever we are. You might technically be Gen X. You're a young ass Gen X though.
Yeah. I'm at the tail end of that.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Arn Thompson type 451, the maiden who seeks her brothers. There's a bunch of them where they all turn into different animals. It's like the 6 swans, the 12 wild ducks.
Do you have a swan one? Because I know this differently. I'm wondering if it's the same story type or not. Speaking of Usborne books,
Oh yeah.
not that we were speaking of Usborne books, but I know this differently.
Okay.
The king remarries, and the stepmom sends away the 12 brothers, like banishes them. And while they're out there, I think she turns them into swans and they flee. And then the remaining daughter sews shirts out of nettles and manages to like throw. I don't remember exactly the middle part, but in the end, she manages to like throw shirts over each of the brothers as they fly by, and they turn back into their human forms, and they all, reunite and hug and kiss. And the stepmother turns out to be a wicked evil witch.
Sure.
I tell good stories.
Well, this one's the maiden who seeks her brothers, but there's a bunch of a large family of brothers or gets turned into birds.
Yeah, I think she couldn't speak either in that one.
Do you have a moral for this that you'd like to talk about, or is there anything else? You'd like to...
I think one of my corollaries, a theme that we keep seeing is silence equals consent.
Yeah.
If you come across a young maiden who can't speak, you best marry her quick, especially if she gives you a barely perceptible nod.
Right.
But I like your theme of sibling trust, sibling whatever. What'd you call it?
Solidarity.
Yeah, I'm on fire tonight.
Yeah, and self-sacrifice, I guess, a little bit too, which I mean we can call it silence, but she was willing to die to protect this secret.
Yep.
And I feel like there's been other things we've seen. Faithful Henry was also willing to die. I mean, I think he technically, if he told what was actually happening, then he was going to die. But he was silent. He was willing to. He knew he was either going to die or he was going to turn into a statue, but was perfectly willing to. He'd do what he had to do to save his king.
Question about that just occurred to me. At what point did he learn that he could come back to life if the young king beheaded his sons and sprinkled his statue with their blood?
Is he the one that tells them?
Yeah. No, he's the statue speaks to the young king.
Oh.
When at some point he would sit and bemoan and wail and gnash his teeth. At one point, the statue spoke to him. I don't know if it was literally or in his head or what. I mean, it sounds like a divine message.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's a different story.
That's we've a story which we've already covered. But that's okay. Okay. Well, then that I think it was not a long story.
No.
So I don't think we need to stay too very long on that. Sleep tight, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.